think of creating texture in your art journals, it's not only about dimensional elements and having things stick out, but also about different marks and layers of marks that create depth in your page. So we'll be focusing on both today. Let's take some time to do a little texture study. So we're at this time of the year, at least where I am, Northern Hemisphere, where we have lots of seed heads and a lot of dried grasses and other plants that can be picked up and used for creating texture in our journal and for mark making. So I've gathered some of those things on my table already. So what we're gonna do is very simple. Get a few sticks or twigs and attach some of these dried flowers or seed heads to them. You could use a string or tape. I have some cotton tape here, so I'm just going to do that right now. So you don't need many for this lesson. I literally have 5-6 different ones, but you'll be fine with just even 2 or just 1. One is better than nothing. So now we can make some marks with them. But before we do that, we need a surface, a substrate. So I prepared a few sheets of vintage paper or old book paper. I cut them to just some random sizes. It doesn't matter. But what we want to do is we need to cover them randomly as well with a thin layer of white gesso. Okay, let's prepare our black gesso for mark making, spreading it in a sort of even layer on my palette. I'm using that silicone tool, but you could use a credit card or a piece of cardboard. Okay, now let's grab our paper and let's start using these mark making tools. So on each piece of paper, we focus on one tool. Okay, so if you have a few, then you're gonna have a few pieces of paper. So we're just gonna dip it in this gesso and we're just gonna play with it. And this is a good moment and a good opportunity to loosen up, to stop being precious about every mark you make, to start making a mess. You don't have to care about how this looks because this is a study, okay? You are not creating a full spread here. You are just playing, so let yourself play. And the fact that we just have one color makes it easier. First of all, to see the texture and to see the mark. And second of all, you don't have to make a decision whether these colors go together or not, right? So this is done. Now it's a good moment to just have a slower, closer look at each one of these. Like I said, be a bit mindful and see the difference each mark makes. This one to me reminds me of birds flying. This is really expressive and really fast. This to me is beautifully organic and just slightly more in order than all the other ones. While this one's full of depth because there's something going on because of the movement of my wrist, because of the mark that I made. It seems almost like a wheel and you can almost go inside. So, and this is much more subtle, right? So it's a good moment to just allow yourself to have that second to analyze this, if you know what I mean, because it will always bring you closer to finding the mark, that you love the most. Also, you can see some sort of tendency that you might have. Maybe you can see something in common on all of these pieces of paper. Like to me, I always try and make it rounder, usually. I try and do it like that. So when I think about it, I do like round, organic, irregular shapes. So it does make sense. So it's another thing that use to build your style. Thank you very much for watching this lesson. Good luck, have fun, and enjoy this.